Some restrictions apply. $0 offer may not be available on future iPhones. Next up anytime feature may be discontinued at any time. See att.com/iPhone for details.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
We're up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Hurricane Helene.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at instantReplaySportsCards.com.
Hewitt Tire and Auto.
Call 850-769-7323.
Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing.
Visit them online at HewittTire.com.
On Airport Road in Panama City.
850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Need a tow? Call Billy at Hometown Towing, 850-265-1562.
Attention homeowners, are you dreaming of a backyard oasis? Look no further than S&R Fencing, your go-to destination for quality outdoor transformations. At S&R, they specialize in crafting custom fences, decks, retainer walls, and all exterior construction that not only enhances the beauty of your home, but also stands the test of time. Their experienced team takes pride in delivering top-notch craftsmanship with a personal touch. S&R Fencing, locally owned, licensed, and insured, and a member of the BBB.
This holiday at T-Mobile, I'm joined by a special co-anchor.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Snoop D-O Double G.
Snoop, let's talk about T-Mobile.
Okay, cool.
This holiday, get 4 lines for $25 a line, plus 4 iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and the all-new camera control on us.
Let's get cracking, like a breakfast egg.
You can use those eggs to make some eggnog, Snoop.
Respect.
And people do love T-Mobile, where you can save on every plan versus the other big guys when you switch.
You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
Always a great stocking stuffer, Snoop.
We up out of here.
Hold your horses, Snoop D-O Double G. Let's remind people one more time.
Head to T-Mobile.com to get 4 iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us, plus 4 lines for $25. Now drop that J.
With 24-monthly bill credits for eligible trade-ins and 4 new lines with auto pay. Well qualified customers plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits or credit stop and balance on required finance agreement is due $999.99. Credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save on wireless and streaming versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence requires iOS 18.1 or later.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michael Studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida. least 21 straight road losses versus top 10 opponents. Top 10 opponents. And I do believe this. We're like our picks later, but I do believe in one week when you play poorly, the next week you play better. Tennessee played really well against Vandy. We all know what happened at Ohio State. They're embarrassed. So you would think, and they got a better roster. You would think they will show up and play.
It's not about play. It's just about your scheme. I mean, how are you going to attack the weaknesses of the Tennessee defense? Are you going to come out and run at their defensive line all night? If they do, then Ryan Day won't have a job on Monday, and we'll be talking about Tennessee moving on. But if you use Jeremiah Smith, Cardinal Tay, Ibuka, who are all projected to be in the first round, that's an elite wide receiver core. Kind of rivals what LSU had under Joe Burrow. Not quite as high in talent, but very similar as far as the speed and size. I just don't see Tennessee matching up with that. And I think Ohio State's got a great rush attack too. They just run into a team that's playing really well in Michigan. I mean, they got two of the best running backs in the country in Judkins and Henderson. So
the key if you're a Tennessee fan and you want to be in this ball game, the key to me is what happens on first down. Because you take away the Michigan game, you throw that out. On first down, they led the nation what they average like on a first down. And when you got second and short, third and short, it's a lot easier to win ball games and to move the ball, keep the clock running, all that kind of things. What Tennessee does on first down, watch that throughout the game. If they're getting big plays on first down, Tennessee, you're going to be in trouble. I'm talking out of the gate.
Right.
But if you're getting, and Tennessee's got a good defensive line. But I got a feeling in the second half is going to get away from them.
The thing about that is Tennessee's got to dominate Ohio State's offensive line because you can scheme around a good defensive line. You can throw screen passes. You can get the ball out a little bit quicker. I mean, you can run some misdirection. But if you're not able to get 4 or 5 yards on first down, if you're always in 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9, you let that defense know what's coming, then Tennessee can control the game. I got to throw the Michigan game out there. Do I like it? No, but I mean that's the only out year in the year where we look like that. So I have to give Chip Kelly some credit and that he's experienced and he's going to come out with a better game plan. And I hope Brian Day stays out of the way if he was part of the game plan for the Michigan game. But I think Ohio State's defense is going to be the difference, and I think red zone is going to be the most important thing. I think Ohio State has the #1 red zone offense in the country and red zone defense. So you got to score touchdowns in these type of games. So if Tennessee's able to capitalize and score touchdowns, I think this is going to be a good game. But if they kick field goals, I think it could get out of hand.
As a former defensive coordinator who kept track of these things, this is my nature. There's so much crap talked about Ohio State online by people who know absolutely, positively nothing. Let me give you just a couple stats, throw them out there. They played 12 games this year. You know how many touchdowns their defense has given up in 12 games? And they played Penn State, they played Indiana, they played Oregon. They played three of the 12 playoff teams they've already played. You know how many touchdowns they've given total? Total 13.
Yeah.
All right.
For the year. In 12 games. They're #1 in scoring defense. They're #1 in total defense. And I know yards don't really mean a lot. We used to talk about, one stat that really matters is points allowed. Okay, you're right, and I agree. But they're #1 in that too. So, like you said, if their defense is going to play well, I don't have any concerns about their defense at all. They're going to play well. But the thing that scares me even more than the offensive line is that kicker.
Right.
Because if it comes down to it, think about the games that we've lost. Georgia, the kicker. Michigan, kicker twice, so, man, that's, in cold weather, the ball feels like a rock, and, it sometimes doesn't always go where you want it to go. That's what worries me more than anything.
And we hear a lot about Tennessee's defensive line. Don't forget Ohio State's defensive line. Got 2 All-Americans, 4 seniors.
I'm glad you bring that up.
They rotate 8 or 9 guys.
You know who's got more sacks on the year? It's not the Tennessee Volunteers. Yeah. It's the Ohio State University.
To me, Tyreek
Williams got more sacks
is the best defense
than Tennessee. They got the best defense in the history of football. No, they don't.
No.
Are they good? Yeah, they are. They're real good, especially if you don't block them. Yeah, they're real good. But so
they're very confident. So I'm just going to be quiet till after the games. We said our piece, but I do like Ohio State.
I worry about the kicker.
I do worry a little bit about Will Howard in the offensive line. But Will Howard in a clean pocket, he threw for 74% completion rate this year. I mean, people have looked at maybe the Michigan game and got a false reality of how he played this year. And I do think he got a concussion in that game. I do too. I mean, he got hit. They took his helmet away.
The more I thought about it, it's like, he wasn't right.
Yeah. And not to make excuses because they still should have won the game and they had backup quarterbacks they should have brought in. But, I mean, I do think that had an impact on how he looked against Michigan. So we're going to see. I mean, it's going to be cold. It's going to be a little bit different. There's going to be a lot of juice in the stadium. So I think managing your nerves and coming out and starting fast for a change. I don't think Ohio State started fast at all this year. Maybe the Oregon game, but they were getting matched score for score. So
yeah, they've had trouble coming out of the gate.
They got to start fast.
Now, this is the night game. Is this on ABC or is this on TNT?
It was out there right now.
ABC, ESPN, I believe.
It is on.
I think maybe TNT.
You're talking about tonight? Indiana?
No. Ohio State, Tennessee tomorrow.
It is on ABC.
It is on ABC? Okay, good.
Tomorrow at 7 o'clock our time.
I think the Texas-Clemson game's on TNT.
Yeah.
I think so.
It is.
So anyway, it's 11 o'clock tonight. It all starts at 2:30 today. Florida's playing Tulane. We'll talk about that later. Hopefully they'll finish on a good positive note. I think they will. I think they're going to play really well.
I do too.
Then you got Penn State, Indiana, and that's going to be a big game. Notre Dame, Indiana. I'm sorry.
Florida got a big pickup yesterday. The 5-star Dallas Wilson that was committed to Oregon out of his NIL deal. And
we got to talk about that. I'm going to be honest with you now. I'm against it. No, you sign that. You sign your scholarship. No,
it's the new.
What are we going to do now?
And like you text. You put that out there, and I text back. Like, why do they even have a National Signing Day? It's just a joke.
It really is.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. If they let them do this, then just throw away everything.
There's two things they need to throw out: the word committed, because it doesn't exist.
There is none.
If he signed that, he needs to go there for a year. If not, guys. There's no rule. I mean, this is the damnest thing I've ever seen.
I know y'all talked about this yesterday, but what was the concept of the reason they give Pavia in all them years? Like, all of a sudden, JUCO doesn't matter?
I don't know, but I tell you this.
What was the basis of that argument?
Junior colleges now just became a pretty good job.
Oh, absolutely.
They became important yesterday.
Yeah.
What happened?
So
they gave him another year.
Vanderbilt quarterback.
He sued them
because he played JUCO 2 years and said that hurt my ability to.
He can make another $1 million.
So they gave him a 7th year.
So now anybody
about having it both ways right there.
Yeah.
You went there because you're 5'9" and nobody recruited you. That's why you went.
But now you've got 4 or 5 years after you leave there. You can play college football 6, 7 years now.
Yeah.
You didn't hear about that?
No.
That changed the game. That's another game changer. I mean, you're going to see a lot of people going to junior colleges now, high school players.
I think it's going to happen. I think a team like Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, they're going to go to these little, JUCO teams and say, look, we're going to stash some players there, get them ready, but when they're ready, you're feeding them right back to us. And they're going to use them as a little, kind of...
Probably doing that to Troy and
they are.
Miami of Ohio, and
But they'll get kickbacks, they'll get money for it.
I didn't hear that one.
Oh, yeah. That's a big time changer. That's going to be a good work at a junior college is going to be good from now on.
So what do you think is a better route? Do you think sitting at Ohio State maybe, or Alabama or Georgia for 2 years, getting developed?
If I'm a player, if I can go and I want to play 5, 6, 7 years, you go to junior college.
And it doesn't count.
Well, I'm still thinking about it's fresh in my mind, so I'm going to throw it out here now. And I thought I almost texted. I said, no, I'll wait till tomorrow. What about these fans? Not the staff and stuff, but the fans crying that Alabama is the poor Alabama. They have no money, and they have no money.
The guy that wrote that,
they're in the top.
Alabama hater, Auburn guy.
They're in the top 5. What the value of their program, and now they're hurting for money, and they have to go beg their fans for money.
Well, I'll text this yesterday.
People, shut up.
The whole point of paying players was they were making so much money off of them. It was outrageous they weren't getting paid. Now they're begging the fans to pay the players.
So that bothers me.
It bothers me bad. Like, we pay for tickets, parking,
you have to join a club, the Pride Time. You got to give money there just to get on the list to buy the tickets. And now, all of a sudden, that was a bad look. RAD at Christmas time. You're going to come out with that at Christmas time. Let's fight back.
Biggest brand in all of college football. That's my whole.
And Jim's right. We're all right.
What's your value?
We're almost under $1 billion. Ohio State was number 1, $1.3 billion.
This is the value of the athletic department.
Number 2. We got to take a break. All right, we get back. We'll finish up with this.
What number is Alabama, though? 3, 4?
They're number 5. Behind Michigan. It's all, and when you see this, you're talking about Big Ten SEC. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Jason, how do we get up with you?
You can come on 23rd Street in the Del Coronado Village. I'm usually there 2 to 7, so if you want to bring your son or daughter down there, if you're trying to get an edge for them and talk to me, I can put them on the InBody 570. We had 2 people come in and get our high school Stack, which is the complete mass, our K4 creatine, and our Sport Formula multivitamin. We put them on the in-body, get them on the stack. We bring them back in 3 weeks and show them how much muscle we've actually put on them, and we track that over time. So the in-body 570 is free for any of the athletes. They can come in and utilize it. It's just a breakdown of what their total body is. That we track.
Now, if I have an issue some point in a body part, I can't get you to put it on there. If I can try it before I buy it. There's one part we have talked about out there I need you to help with.
That's why I hired Jim over here. He's going to be your liaison for that.
All right, get down to Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Get you a gift card for somebody you love in your family. I thought about giving one for Wildcat, but like we talked about, it might be too late. It could be too late.
Some causes are just lost.
It's lost. I tell you what's not lost. J. Michael's Restaurant, Thomas Drive. Today's special is incredible. Crisp fish, grilled fish over bed of rice. You got onions, peppers, mushrooms. It's really good. A special sauce that goes on it. The legendary J. Michael's. For all your real estate closings, you do what Mark Howard does. The guy sells multi-million-dollar homes out on 38, one of the top ones in the Southeast. All he'll go with is Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title Closing. So should you. The guy's a local man, grew up here, went to Mosley High School, graduated, started the business, expanded throughout the Panhandle of Florida. South Oak Title and Closing, #1. Just like Stevenson Air Conditioning. Jason, love those guys. We'll be right back. 104.3, Christmas in Dixie. It's snowing in the pines. There you go. Turn it up. Let it play.
It's snowing in the pines. Merry Christmas from Dixie to everyone tonight.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
Albeit it's not your vintage Aaron Rodgers, he's averaging less than 5 yards a pass. These statistics, if you apply them to previous defenses, we should be competitive right now. The reason why we are not competitive is our now ex-brilliant GM, deconstructed the defense, brought in a malcontent from the Philadelphia Eagles who clearly don't miss him.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Clear skies this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze out of the northwest at 13 miles per hour and look for the high to be 64. Tonight, it will be clear skies with the temperature reaching 40 and a blustery wind. Sunny tomorrow with a north wind around 11 miles per hour and a high of 55. Sunday, we'll have a high of 58 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
Is your backyard ready for paradise? Then transform it with B&E Outdoor Furniture. Custom crafted, durable, composite furniture with our bent-back design built for comfort. And listen up. Through February, get 10% off your first purchase at B&E Outdoor Furniture. Visit our showroom today, 12035 Panama City Beach Parkway, or call 850-240-0830 and see our collection online at beandoutdoorfurniture.com. B&E Outdoor Furniture. Get a deal for a steal.
Time to let the big dogs eat.
How about that answer by Georgia? Touchdown, Georgia!
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
I'll be home for Christmas.
Rascal Flats, just in case.
That one gets my heart. Silent Night's another one, man. It's beautiful. Golly. Makes you think about all your family's gone. Yeah. When we used to live in Cape Coral, we'd listen to Alabama songs, Christmas and Dick stuff. I'd be so homesick because you're so far down there. Right. It's 12 hours to get to Montgomery or whatever. I miss the South. And everybody think, what do you mean, Miss South? No, it's a totally different world. It's completely different. Yeah. It's a different world down there.
Agreed. South of Gainesville is
totally different.
Yeah, it's completely different.
The further south you go, the more north you go.
Right, exactly. That's 100% true.
But the weather is always hot and warm down there, humid.
Going to Keys.
Yeah.
One season, hot all year, every day. hot.
Hey, give us a call today, 215-6290, and send us a gift. All right, here are the 10 most valuable programs in college football. Valuable programs in college football. Number one is the Ohio State Buckeyes, $1.318 billion with a B. Ohio, Texas, number 2, 1.2. I'm not going to get exact, just 1.2.
And they want the fans to pay the players.
Texas A&M is right there with them, 1.2. They're got a couple 100,000 below them. And number 4, if you notice something, it's all Big Ten SEC. Number 4 is Michigan. Give them credit. They get 111,000 to go to a football game. They're about at $1 billion. Number 5, Alabama, right up under that, $978 million. And yet they're sending out letters. Hey, let's fight back. Send us your money. Don't buy that Christmas gift. Send it here to our kids.
Yeah. People making $50,000.
2 of our former players made first-team All-American.
We made $930 million this year, but the people making $50,000, we need you to buy our players for us.
Well, he did say that everybody's robbing our players. Hey, get used to it. It's not going to change.
Oh, man.
Number 6 is Notre Dame. They're right up under Alabama, $696 million. Georgia's number 7, $950 million. Nebraska is number 8. That surprised me. $943 million. And then Texas.
What a great fan base.
Tennessee. Tennessee's number 9.
Yep.
There's no pro sports in Nebraska either.
940. And number 10, SEC. $928 million.
So 9 of the top 10 are all SEC or Big Ten.
6 for the SEC, 3 from the Big Ten, and Notre Dame. And that's the reason everybody wants Notre Dame.
And Alabama wants you to send money to get players.
The timing of that was not good.
I was going to say,
the timing of that was not right.
I don't think he'll be the last to be begging people for money, because if you look at some of these, even Florida State, their portal class is looking a little rough this year, especially after they're back.
Well, we talking about Alabama. You talking about people going to be hurting for money. Florida State's one of them. They talk to them. It's crazy.
They just don't have the money for these portal guys this year, and
they don't have the TV money.
Hey, Mike, how about ponying up $4.5 million of your salary so we can get some players?
And they still lose.
Well, you know what? That's a great point. Let's have DeBoer. He's making $10 million a year. Let him get 5 back. Get 5 back.
That's what they asked Norvell to do. I don't know how they worded it, but that's essentially what they did.
Basically, they said, "Hey, let me get this in here. We're going to fire you."
Let me get this and see if this is fair. This is playoff. The playoff teams, their operating expenses for 2022 and 23. Ohio State's expenses. This is what they spent on football. $72.3 million. Georgia was number 2 at $69 million. These are playoff teams. Clemson was number 3 at $66.7 million. 4, here we go again, Penn State, $62.7. Texas, $61 million. Tennessee, $53.1. And then look at the drop-off from $50 million, $59 million. Arizona State, $47.4. Oregon, which I don't believe. Anything the Oregon reports, I don't believe.
They must not be reporting their money.
Yeah, 42.9. Indiana, 24.1. Boise State, $21 million. And Ohio State's at 72. That's just spending money. Who is it? Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey.
Hey, this is Terry. I was just calling to chime in on the I agree with y'all. The timing of Greg Byrne was poor. But what you have to look at is the number of billionaires that graduated from these schools.
Yeah, right. That's true.
My son brought that up. There's not one that's graduated from Alabama. But you go to Texas A&M, Texas, Ohio State. Texas A&M's right at 20 or so billionaires that have graduated. I mean, there's no way these schools can compete.
Yeah.
With the money problem, but I do agree with y'all about the timing was poor.
Yeah. You know, Auburn has, I think, 2 billionaires.
Yellowwood's all they need, really.
Yeah, and Yellowwood's doing a really good job. He's doing a really good job.
Yeah, and then Tennessee's got the Hess family, and they're like 8 or 9 from Tennessee. My son gave me the breakdown. I couldn't believe it, just the amount of money some of these
I know.
The Hess family, one of my former players went to work for them.
Right.
Tony Thompson, he worked for them when he got the playing at Tennessee.
One of the biggest boosters at Ohio State, I think, is Les Wexner. I mean, he's an Epstein friend, but he's the one that started Victoria's Secret, so he's up there in the tens of billions, and they got the Steinbrenner. So there's some institutional money out there that there are some schools that just aren't going to be able to compete with. I mean,
Terry, what do you think? Does Bama drop off? I mean, the world has changed as we know it. The junior, we just found out yesterday that lawsuit, now these junior colleges are going to be really important. It's going to be a farmer league. It's going to be like, major baseball.
Minor league.
Minor league, the minor leagues, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do we drop off, or can we keep it rolling with, it's going to be hard.
You won't see, I don't think, from anyone like we had it the last 15 years.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just...
It's too hard to stack talent like that, because if you look at some of these rosters, to retain the guys you already have is going to cost you $20 million. I mean, if you look at what Ohio State brought in, they only brought 6 recruits in last year, or transfers, but they've spent $20 million on retaining their roster. What do you think Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs are going to ask for in the open market? So I think retention's as important as going out and getting these shiny new toys, because the proven guys are where you want to be right now.
Well, the first case you need to look at is Florida State. It worked one year, it didn't work the next year.
Right. Yeah.
At some point, you got to gel as a team, and 2 years ago it worked, but last year, like we all saw, I think that will be a problem.
Terry, I got to ask you before we got to take a break, but I want to talk to you before we go. Where are you from, and you got anything special planned this Christmas?
I moved down here 3.5 years ago from Tuscaloosa.
Oh, nice. Roll Tide, brother. Good job.
And
where'd you go to school at? Where'd you go to school at Tuscaloosa? What high school?
Tuscaloosa County.
Okay. Hey, who are the Black Bears? You remember the Black Bears?
That was when I was in school. There were the Central Falcons.
Okay, because I remember we were at Lanier High School in Montgomery. We used to play Tuscaloosa Black Bears. I think they were called the Black Bears.
Yeah, Bob Baumhauer was in one of the last graduating classes from the Black Bears before they merged.
Oh, okay.
Black Bears and the Druid Dragons, and they merged all the schools together. Central was a juggernaut in the 80s before they split it up.
Hey, did you hear that song we were playing a minute ago, Christmas in Dixie by Alabama?
Oh, yeah.
That's tear in my eye, man. Doesn't it just touch your heart?
Oh, yeah.
A good man right here.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, we got to go. My producer's ready to shoot me. What's your favorite memory of Christmas when you were little?
Favorite memory of Christmas? Oh, man, it's not a good memory, but it's a strong memory. I got bronchitis. Had to go get a shot. I was laying on the table in the emergency room, and I'd gotten some new cowboy boots for Christmas, and they didn't hold my legs down good enough, and I caught the nurse right in the jaw.
Maybe she's an Auburn fan.
That's a great Christmas story.
She had it coming.
I love it, man. Hey, Terry, you live on the beach or in town?
A beach.
Good man. Come by and see us sometime. Hey, thank you so much for calling. Call back, okay?
I'll do it.
Bye, Terry. Thank you, sir. Roll Tide. Good man right there.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Dr. Chad Mitchell, the legend. If you get any type of injury, call Chad Mitchell. Make an appointment. He'll come take care of you. The guy is truly incredible. And this guy's trained to use robotic surgery. He can do it all. He can do it all. If you got any kind of problems, you call Chad Mitchell. That's the guy you want to go with. That Cajun place, we'll be there tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be 11. I might go to the Texas game. I'm not sure. You going to head down there?
I'm going to the early game. I got to work about 3, and then I don't go around people in the Ohio State place.
You won't be there for a night game.
They won't like my language.
The Cajun place, go check it out. They're going to have the best. Heck, everybody knows about it. It's a legendary place. The best wings you'll get anywhere. And when the games are being played, you got 27 plus TVs, $5 pitchers, incredible food. The chicken sausage gumbo is the best you'll get anywhere. That Cajun place on Thomas Drive, we'll see you there tomorrow for sure. I'll probably be there at 11. And might even come back. I'm not sure. All right, we got to go. 104.3. We'll get back. Jim Brandt, FSU. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Merry, Merry Christmas, baby. Sure did treat me nice.
Eagles.
This just in. Get the latest sports news, scores, and updates from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Follow us on Facebook for exclusive content, behind-the-scenes action, live streams, and the chance to interact with your favorite hosts.
Stay connected. Stay connected. Stay connected.
Join the conversation on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Search for ESPN Northwest Florida and crush the follow button.
I follow you on social media.
We're always here to keep you in the game.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at instantReplaySportsCards.com.
Introducing Lucid Stream TV. Get over 2,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch local network channels from most major markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Lucid Stream TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200-plus entertainment and news networks, or watch 10,000 movies on demand, including recent theater releases. Just $42 a month when you use the promo code ESPNNW at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Lucid Stream TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Lucid Stream TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Lucid Stream TV logo.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! FSU Update is brought to you by Newbies. 4, yeah, I said it, not 3, but 4 great locations. The new one in St. Andrews, go check it out. You'll absolutely love it. At the mothership, everybody will be there starting tonight because everybody's back in town for Christmas. You'll run into people you haven't seen in years. Get out there. They're always giving back to the community. John and Charlotte always giving back. Let's make sure we go support them. Newbies 2 on the curve. Go watch all the ball games. Have a great time. And then when you're ready, head on down the mothership. Listen to these best bands in the Southeast. Charlotte's going to have the best entertainment for you that she can get, and it's always the best. But let's ask this caller what he's got planned for Christmas. It's Mike. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm dog sitting on Christmas Day and house sitting, actually. I had my Christmas Wednesday. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you've got ex-wives.
What kind of dog is it?
Well, one of them is Arkansas abandonment dog from the streets of Little Rock.
That's the best kind.
Yeah, he's a Catahoula bird dog cross, and the other one, of course, is Maltipoo, which is not a fictional character. Maltipoo is a 7/8 pit bull, 1/8 boxer, brindle beauty.
I bet that's a good dog.
She is a good. She loves everybody too. She's been raised by a kind soul like me. That's me. Yeah. She's actually my dog, but she lives out across the way because daughter's got a fenced-in backyard.
Jim Bob's like that. He was raised that way. He loves everybody. You can pet him. He don't bite. He's good.
He wags his tail and he gives
you rub this Tommy, he'll do anything for you.
Don't corner him. I don't want to bore y'all, but I know y'all got Ohio State Mine Trust there.
Oh yeah. We got the Tennessee Vols on the phone right now.
Yeah, but do the Vols have a chance? I mean, they're up there.
They got a chance.
I know they got a real chance, but I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people are picking Tennessee. It's FSU, by the way. This is FSU time, but Tennessee and FSU played in the Classic National Championship game almost 3 decades ago now, 2.5. But anyway, I don't see how Ohio State doesn't follow the Georgia, the Georgia formula and pass, and block and everything. But Tennessee there's no perfect team in this whole playoffs.
No, I agree with that.
They did number one, and they're right. Oregon has, to me, I always go back to the line, and they have the most disciplined offensive line. But that may not be a winning card. But I think the committee got almost everything right. I know the Alabama fans won't like me saying that, but I do think that Indiana should have hosted Notre Dame. And I think that, I don't know, that's all I can quibble with that. And, the ACC, they had to defend the value of the conference championships, and that was a little bit of an argument. But I don't know if I see any upsets out there. And, I don't see any road teams winning, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. But
we shall see.
It's intriguing to me. But I hope people, tune in, because I think they got it kind of right. And the things that the playoffs not what's wrong with college football right now. Y'all know that. We talked about it ad nauseum, as John, I think, was referring to when I talked to him before a game out. But the portal and the money, I go with how it's done. But I want to say something about the Wake Forest, which I did hear something. And I don't have any inside information at Wake Forest, but y'all may have thought it was kind of strange that they announced a resignation one day and then a hiring the next day. Well, Coach Clawson had gone. He's a real gentleman. He'd gone to him, and he'd told them he was thinking about it. And so Monday they started the search while he was still, and they gave him the option of keeping his job. But I'll compliment him on that. But I'm disappointed about FSU for one thing, because I like FSU, but because of the conference, I won't get to see them play baseball up here this year, which I really wanted to. It's just going to be Wake's got to go down there, and but Miami's coming up here, so that's my weekend baseball target right now. But anyway, not to make it about me as a joke about, but I really called to say Merry Christmas, and of course Hanukkah starts on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas this year. Happy Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, whatever you do, whatever your listeners do or don't do. I just want to wish them a safe and happy holidays, and y'all have a good one.
You too, man. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. I've torn this tonight. It's the Indiana State Championship.
Yep.
Which is Notre Dame, Indiana, or do I listen to well, I know what I'm going to do. There's a ball signee who's playing in the state championship, 4A state championship in North Carolina at Kenyon Stadium at UNC tonight. So I'm going to pay attention to high school still. We got an extra week of it up here. Y'all have a great one, and I'll talk to you on the 6th of January, maybe.
All right, sounds good. Merry Christmas. You take care of yourself. Thank you.
Merry Christmas to y'all, too. Bye-bye.
All right, Jim, what do you got on FSU?
All right. There's been a lot of focus on conference schedules, non-conference schedules. And I'm going to give you Florida State's schedule for next year. I'm going to give you the non-conference games first. They start off with Alabama, first game of the year. That's obviously a big one. And then they're playing somebody I absolutely, positively, in all the years I've been involved in football, have never heard of this team. I have no clue.
So that should be a W.
I have no clue who they are. East Texas A&M.
Oh, wow.
Now, if you know who East Texas A&M is out there, you got a lot more on the ball than I do.
Yeah.
They were 3-9 last year. And then they played Kent State, 0-12. Kent's not very good. They've been good in the past, but not so much now. Home of Nick Saban and Lou Holtz, but not so much now. And then they have the Gators at the end of the year. Now, their conference schedule, and all these conferences are really big, and you don't play everybody every year. And I'm looking at it, and I know the ACC is not the Big Ten, and it's not the SEC, and it's not the best conference. I get it. But there are definitely have and have-nots within the ACC also. Here's who they're going to be playing. Then we'll talk about who they're not playing. And I don't know what order, there's no dates, so this is just who they're playing. Next year, Florida State will be playing in conference. They'll play Miami, Pitt, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, Clemson, North Carolina State, Stanford, and Virginia. All right, now, you say, well, that's kind of traditional ACC guys. Yeah, it is. But here's who they didn't get. All right? They didn't get Duke, who's a bowl team. Didn't get Boston College, who beat them. Didn't get Georgia Tech. Didn't get Louisville. Didn't get Syracuse. Didn't get SMU. I mean, all those teams I just mentioned.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
They might need it.
So, you know, yeah, the ACC is not the best conference, but like I said, there's definitely have and have-nots within that conference. And they, in my opinion, like James, 100%, they kind of lucked out.
Yeah.
Because they got the better half of that league as conference games. So there's 4 non-conference, 8 conference. So we'll see how things go.
Could save Norvell's career with that schedule. I mean,
yeah.
Well, they got plenty of time to recruit, plenty of time looking for NIL players, not NIL players, but transfer players, because they're not practicing right now. They're getting ready for a ball game.
Right.
Florida's going to play today at 2:30. I'm looking forward to that game at 2:30. I can't wait. 2:30 on.
And here's the other thing. It's got nothing really to do with Florida State per se, but here's the thing with this transfer portal thing too, because the teams that are in the playoffs, their seasons potentially aren't going to end for another month. 3-4 weeks.
Right.
So they're going to allow those college playoff teams, their transfer portal is going to extend five games or 5 days rather after they're finished.
Right.
I didn't know that.
So if you're somebody looking for a good player, well, some of the best players are still going to be playing. Okay. So how do you? I'm going to use the analogy of shopping. So how do you shop for somebody knowing, let's just use Ohio State or Penn State as an example. There's somebody I'd really like to have on that Penn State team, or somebody I'd really like to have in Ohio State. But man, they're still playing for another 2 weeks.
Yeah, you hold your thoughts right there. We got to take a break.
It's crazy.
Dr. Ward, listen every Wednesday, 7:30 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 5 minutes to save your life. I'm talking about skin cancer. It can be deadly. 1 in 5 develop it. You got a problem, you go see Dr. Ward. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Great place to get a Christmas card for your family member or friend, whatever like that. Go by and visit Jason. The guy's incredible. Also, don't forget about Paparazzi Pizza. Julie and I had lunch here yesterday. We had one special. We bought 2 drinks. We had plenty, believe me. The sizes they give you are unbelievable. $11 some change. You get 2 huge slices of pizza and a drink. We asked them to cut up again, so he actually got 4. Unbelievable Paparazzi Pizza right there on Thomas Drive. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest for on our Christmas show today.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the NFL.
Touchdown, Denver!
We bring you the biggest games every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night.
Oh, he's got the first down!
Plus, we'll broadcast more college football games than ever before.
He did what?
Live NFL and college football play.
Unbelievable!
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Clear skies this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze out of the northwest at 13 miles per hour and look for the high to be 64. Tonight, it will be clear skies with the temperature reaching 40 and a blustery wind. Sunny tomorrow with a north wind around 11 miles per hour and a high of 55. Sunday, we'll have a high of 58 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
That Cajun Place is your LSU and Saints football headquarters. Saints and LSU fans, wear your team colors and score a free Jell-O shot when your team scores a touchdown. Only at That Cajun Place. Get $5 pitchers on select draft beers during all live football games. Catch all the games at once with the NFL package on 27 large TVs at That Cajun Place.
And the best wings on the beach.
The locals' favorite, That Cajun Place.
Reliable Coffee Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Coffee Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Mothers at 784-6601, 784-6601. Reliable Coffee Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Come on, weatherman, give us a forecast, snowy white. Can you...
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. There's a beautiful picture Mark McLeod sent me. I think it's that billionaire booster from Miami. I paid $20 million for a roster, a college football roster. All I got was a bunch of Pop-Tarts.
There you go.
Underachievers. All right, this is just some crazy stuff from the teams that are making the playoffs. Just a few things here. Arizona State head football coach Kenny, I think his name's Kenny Dillingham. Dillingham. He was at Auburn, I think, at one time.
Yeah, I think he was.
He's the youngest head football coach in college in the playoffs. 34 years old. Georgia and Kirby Smart only lost to a non-conference football team was to Texas back in 2018 Cotton Bowl. And Texas now, we know, is in the SEC. He's 35-1 versus non-conference football teams. Texas has 2 games all season in which it allowed a team to pass for more than 200 yards. It was Michigan and Kentucky. That's the only 2 teams that passed. Georgia didn't need to. They ran the ball pretty well.
Yeah.
Penn State is 3-19 versus AP top 10 teams. Notre Dame is 3-23 versus top 5 AP teams. Ohio State, number 1 scoring defense in the nation, allowed a record 55.0 red zone scoring percentage, best in college football. Tennessee has not beaten an AP top 10 team a true road game since 2006. They have lost 21 consecutive true road games to an AP top 10 team. So, and then you can throw in there Ohio State's record versus the SEC in bowl games. I think it's 2-12.
It's not very good.
Yeah. So that was just some little stuff
We
there.
claimed 3-11 with that Arkansas when they took it away from Terrell Pryor, but whatever.
The last one they beat, I think, was Alabama in the national championship. No, in the game before the national championship. In the Sugar, they had that 13 quarterback did it.
But this is what I always talk about when everybody's like, fire Ryan Day. Now, I totally believe he should be on the hot seat for the Michigan stuff. But, like, if you look at all these coaches' records versus top 5 teams, outside of Nick Saban and maybe Kirby Smart, they're all like 3-15, 2-20. It's hard to be a top 5 team. So
And you know what, didn't talk about firing Ryan Day. I was out and about yesterday. I was listening to Colin Cowherd, who I don't always agree with, but he was talking to not Nick Saban.
Urban.
Yeah. He was talking to Urban Meyer. And Colin asked him, well, if he loses to Tennessee, should they fire Ryan Day? And he goes, Urban Meyer says, I don't think they're going to do that, because if they do that, they're going to lose that whole roster.
Oh, for sure.
You got to understand, the average fan, those players went to Ohio State because they were sold something by Ryan Day. They liked what he was selling.
Right.
You know, whatever it is. And a lot of times, those average parents aren't as crazy as some of the fans are. You got to beat Michigan by 100 points every year. You know, yeah, you do, but you can't destroy the whole
recruiting,
team.
you got transfer players. There's a lot of things to consider.
He goes, they'll lose their roster if they do that.
I'll say this. I mean, I know
This is
the
Urban Meyer saying
the
this.
hot pick, if Day was to be let go, would be Vrabel. I can guarantee that Jeremiah Smith would be gone. Caleb Downs would be gone. You know, Judkins would for sure compete for the draft. You would lose probably Julian Sain because he's not an offensive-minded guy. He's not going to have the spread rate. He's not going to track the wide receivers that we did. So you got to be very careful how you operate in this college football climate because it's all about recruiting. And as soon as a coach leaves, we saw a team that had to opt out of a bowl game. I mean, 25 guys entered the portal. So you could really do some damage. Now, He's got to win this game against Tennessee. He's got to beat Michigan next year. There's no more free passes for him because some of the losses are just unexplainable. And you go into a game with a better squad, more talent, and then your game plan is to run at the strength of Michigan's defense. Just made no sense. And you can't keep doing that at Ohio State.
You can't.
You're being paid $12 million to win national championship.
I want to go back to Kirby Smart. I want to make sure I get this in today for the Christmas break. There's some people saying that they won't win it this year. I think their path is pretty easy to get to the game. They got the backup quarterback. Some people say no big deal. There was a reason you're second team. I do think it's a big deal, but I was impressed with the kid. But this Kirby Smart's incredible. Head football coach at Georgia. He makes $13 million a year.
Well deserved.
He's been at Georgia for 9 years. His record in 9 years, 105 wins and 18 losses. 105 wins, 18 losses. He's won 2 national championships, and probably, I think if he got in there to beat Michigan, I think they were a better matchup for Michigan.
Can I make a point, too? And I hate to be back, this last Ryan Day point. What is his record versus Alabama, his biggest rivalry?
He's 1-6.
Thank you.
Yeah. He's all, now, the thing about Kirby, too, he's only 48 years old.
I know. He's
young,
he's
man.
45.
He's one of 2 guys that I would fire anybody for right now, and Dan Laney would be the other one. Dan Laney hasn't proven as much, but I can see the development, the toughness.
He's been with these guys. He's been with Nick. He's been with Kirby.
Right. So I just see those 2 guys as the top, and those were guys I would feel confident if we were replacing the coach at Ohio State, they would be an upgrade. But those are the only 2, in my opinion, right now. I'm not saying somebody else couldn't do it.
Right.
I'm just saying everybody's got
You
works.
just said something that made me think, do I think it's important that you learn under one of the masters like a Nick Saban? I do. I think that's valuable, obviously.
Kirk Cincinnati.
But let me just throw this out. I just thought of this. Tom Herman coached for Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
How did he do as a head coach?
Yeah.
A lot of cocaine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying,
Not a guess.
it's valuable, but it's not everything.
Right.
It doesn't guarantee you anything because, hey, well, I coached with Nick Saban. Okay, great. So did Billy Napier.
Right.
Kirby's 48 years old. He was defense coordinator at Alabama in 2008 to 2015. Since he took over Georgia, he's won 2 national championships. They say that he played the toughest schedule, and I don't know if it's the toughest road schedule in the country. Yeah, he did. Played at Texas, at Ole Miss, at Alabama. He won one of the 2 games. He lost at Bama, he lost at Ole Miss. When they're healthy and they have time, they're pretty dang hard to beat. The Sugar Bowl will be the winner of the Indiana-Notre Dame game. I feel really good about them advancing and winning the Sugar Bowl, the Georgia Bulldogs. I do. I think they can win that ball game. After that, I'm not so sure. You mention this? Oregon's Dallas Wilson.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm going to go back on that real quick. If they let him out of this, there are absolutely no rules.
Why would they not?
There are no rules.
Why would they not let him out?
Because now any other kid in the country can sign on a Monday, get a call from a coach on the weekend, and say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to change my mind too." You can't. You got to have some kind of rules.
But I don't think they're signing scholarships now. I think they're signing their NIL deals, and that's all he's asking out of. He just doesn't want the money. He doesn't want to be paid. He's going to, hopefully for Florida fans, he's
They
going to
got to be national sign day. They got to be signing the scholarship.
I think they just show it nowadays.
I don't know.
I don't know
It's
either.
insane. It's not. That's no more crazy than, well, I went to junior college and it deprived me of an opportunity to play in the D1. No, what? That's insane.
Your grades didn't have a part in this.
Insane.
Your size of your body didn't have a part in this.
Talent level.
Who was the judge? Was it Biden?
Probably. I mean,
Anyway,
there's just no rules, and they go further and further away from structure that I just don't.
Wilson committed to Oregon in January 2023.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he's changed his mind. Now the kid is from Tampa, Florida. He is from Tampa. He wants to stay home.
I know what he's thinking. I mean, when he committed,
Well, what did they let the Texas
there
kid
was
do?
no lagway. I mean,
Y'all started this mess. You signed the kid from Texas.
The thing
The
that's
quarterback is at Texas now.
The thing that's crazy about all this, and I'm most familiar with Ohio State players. The guys who are in the transfer portal for Ohio State, listen to what I'm going to say, never play. You hear me? Never. or losing this guy. He played four plays all year.
Right.
They never played. That's why they want to go somewhere else. They probably shouldn't have been there in the first place. And so I'm going to get at is that that guy may go to Florida, but there's no guarantee that he's going to play there. Right. There's not. It's just not how it works. So.
Well, when he committed, Lagway wasn't even an option. He hadn't even played a game. So now that he's seen there's an offense that.
And whatever happened to that quarterback that was going to sue Florida for $13 million because it was.
That's still going on. Supposedly they just had an open hearing 2 days ago. It was
What's that kid's name? I can't remember.
Jalen Rashada, I believe. Something like that. Yeah. I may not be saying exactly right.
I'll tell you during the break. All right, let's. We're having some kind of problem getting texts. We're trying to work on it. They can't hear us. It's too low for as Facebook. We know that. We're working on it right now.
Yeah.
So, leave me alone. How much time we got?
You want me to stand behind you and hand signal?
Yeah.
Today's show includes Coach's comment.
Our top story tonight. Everybody should have Saturday Night Live. Our top story tonight.
Turf Pro Pest Control. You want that yard to look absolutely gorgeous. Patrick can make it happen. Listen to Patrick every Monday, 8:30 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. But call him. Let him come out and put a game plan together. Your yard will look absolutely beautiful. I want some great Christmas gifts, Wildcat. Who are the best people to go see?
Let me tell you, I'm very, very excited because I have David Adamson and Amber at David Adamson Fine Designer Jewelry in Lynn Haven design a piece commemorating my 40-some-odd years in television and radio, and I just got word last night that it was ready, and I'm very excited about picking it up. This is a one-of-a-kind designed piece of jewelry that we put all of our heads together and created this thing, and I'm very, very, very excited about picking it up today, right before Christmas, my little gift to me because I deserve it.
You deserve it, dude.
And if you've got something coming up, a special holiday, a special event you want commemorated, you can make a one-of-a-kind piece of jewelry, and then do what I'm going to do, pass it on down to my son once I'm gone, and I think it's just a very emotional, fun day for me, and I'm glad to be affiliated with David Adamson Designer Jewelry, Highway 77 in Lynn Haven.
I'm so happy for you. You've done an incredible job.
Yeah. Except for this morning.
Get the damn thing.
I can't fix Facebook.
Can we put up the James Hale rendition of Rocky Top singing Ohio State's playing?
No. That's going to
come back with that.
If you not told them right before on ABC, right before kickoff, they're going to play that on national TV. Y'all listen for it.
Stand out there with your Bulls jersey and do that.
I'm going to have my Alabama shirt.
We'll watch him get beat down like Charlie Brown.
We'll be right back. Whoa. Get out. If you're over there shopping, you got to get down to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven.
Onion rings.
Yeah, get some onion rings down there. Great food.
Wings.
That's another great place to watch all these bowl game, playoff games. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Go check it out. Pat Parno is the owner. He's the city commissioner of Lynn Haven. Does an incredible job. Get to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. You'll have a great time. We'll be right back. 104.3, Just Beagle. 104.3, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bells will be ringing. The sad, sad news. Oh, what a Christmas.
Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida.
College football bowl season continues today. First, it's the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl.
With your Florida Gators versus the Tulane Green Wave.
Kickoff at 2:30. Then round one of the college football playoffs with Indiana at Notre Dame. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here on your home for college football.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Clear skies this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze out of the northwest at 13 miles per hour and look for the high to be 64. Tonight, it will be clear skies with the temperature reaching 40 and a blustery wind. Sunny tomorrow with a north wind around 11 miles per hour and a high of 55. Sunday, we'll have a high of 58 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
WVLQ Point St. Joe, WGSX, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida
is beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go, especially at that boot store. This Christmas, make it a memorable one by selecting Western wear for the entire family from the largest to the smallest member at affordable prices. For that hard-working person on your Christmas list, what better gift than Carhartt work clothes? Don't know what to select? How about a gift certificate from that boot store? Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Billboard Kia, 15th Street, Panama City. That boot store where God is good all the time.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tide. Roll that money into Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide. Brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. They do such a wonderful job throughout the Panhandle of Florida. If you have any problems, day or night, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll be there for you. They do an incredible job. Get a service about every 6 months. That is Stevenson
So
Air
is it
Conditioning.
true that you're donating 50% of your ESPN check to
Absolutely
Greg
not.
Byrne?
I'm not giving a penny.
Come on.
No, not going to happen. I know
I
somebody
heard
that
Caleb
will.
Downs might be in the
And I don't want you outside of Walmart like with the little kettle for ringing the bell.
Salvation Army.
All like the Salvation Army. Alabama needs money. We're going to get Caleb back.
Yeah, Jeff.
That'd be a good idea.
Good, we got some. Good. My back's hurting, Jeff, this day. I've been carrying a lot of stuff this last hour. How you doing, sir?
Really good. This is so great. I'm glad we're going to talk about this.
Yeah, I really want to hear your thoughts. I just think the timing's kind of stupid. Right before Christmas, people are hurting. People are spending money left and right. The economy's not this great. You gotta pay a money to even get in Pride Tide. Then you might be able to buy the tickets. And now they want you to give more money. It's not a good look in my opinion. I don't like it, but everybody's got a different opinion. That's just me. What's your take on all this?
Well, I mean, it's not a good look. I mean, but that's kind of the way it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way business is run. And you know, if you want to compete, you know, you got to have a solid NIL fund, and that takes, you know, people writing checks and donating. So, you know, I heard the same thing. I mean, around the office, you know, who is this guy? What's he doing? You know, the nerve of that guy. You know, as much as it costs to go see a football game and all that stuff, but I guess it just confirms the fact that, you know, they almost got outbid by Ole Miss for Jalen Ibakwe.
Yeah.
And the words that he used, you know, poaching, you know, the roster and all that stuff, gave it an poor old Alabama kind of look, you know?
Yeah.
And no one else in the college football world has any sympathy for Alabama. No one.
You're right.
Yeah.
And let me just throw the Ohio State thing in here. And the reason Ohio State got those players, it wasn't because they were posted, because Nick Saban retired. And then nobody at Ohio State, I never thought they were going to get Caleb Downs. I said, he's going to go to Georgia.
Right.
I was 100%. He's going to Georgia. And he ends up at Columbus. So I'm kind of like with you. It's like, you can't claim poor mouth, poor pitiful me. Like, come on. Really? And what did you say that Alabama's program is worth? Net worth like $1 billion?
Almost $1 billion, yeah.
A little south of $1 billion. How can you say that you don't have money?
But how did we get here from where these billion-dollar athletic departments, now they're begging the fans that pay for tickets, pay for concessions. I pay $10 a beer when I go to a game, and all this money, parking, jerseys, and all this. Now they're asking you, oh, you need to pay for the players. That's the only thing that rubbed me the wrong way, because I get the big-time boosters. They're always going to be there. They're always going to fund these collectives, and they're always going to be there to help with, facilities and all that. But that's the average fan. I just thought it was poor timing. But I do think this is the future. I don't think he's going to be the first guy to be doing this. They've already implemented ticket price increases for NIL in certain areas. This is just a new norm until somebody comes in and provides structure. We're going to see a lot more of this.
Well, I think you hit it on the head. The average fan, the average fan didn't like it.
Yeah.
But the average fan is not the one who writes the big checks,
right?
And funds the NIL and all that. The average fan is the guy who, is sitting in front of the TV on Saturday, rooting on his team, and he has to watch every game on TV because he can't afford to go to the game.
That's true.
But that's the average. That's the average fan nowadays. So, it's a different game, and this is the way the game is played, and I don't know if it's ever going to be played the way it used to be, but that's the way it is.
Well, now, is it true they're going to start a junior college right there in Tuscaloosa and ship everybody there?
Feeder program.
Everybody's any good in the South. We'll be playing there.
You know what's humorous to me is I had some Alabama fans, who work with me, come into the office. It's a meeting place, to talk sports and all that stuff. And they go, well, yeah, they got Caleb Downs, but boy, he didn't have a very good year. And I go, wait a minute, let's take a look here. He had that big punt return against Michigan, right?
No, Indiana.
Indiana. And he got first team All-American.
Consensus.
I guess he didn't have a very good year at all.
Yeah.
And so it's just funny how that works.
He's the best defensive back in the country. Saban loved him. You remember when they finally let him return a punt against Alabama? The first time they put him back to return a punt for Bama, he took it to the house. He could play running back. He could play just about anything on that field.
I don't understand how he didn't win the Thor. I didn't even know the kid from Texas existed, to be honest.
I didn't either. I know we're down. No way. I was going to ask you something else. God dog, my train of thought just went out. What are you hearing for them getting ready for the bowl game? Are they into it? Is practice going well?
I think they are into it. I think, there's a lot of guys who, remember last year. There's some, revenge is always a motivator. And there's also revenge, on the part of, Coach DeBoer, too, for losing this national title game to those guys. And I think there's a big incentive to get that 10th win. I think that means, a lot to the guys. And there's also a part, the guys who are left, who didn't jump in the portal, those guys are going, those guys are gone, but, we're good. We can take care of this, so I think there's also that enters into the equation. So I think they'll go out there. I think they'll put their best foot forward, and I think they'll play a good game.
When is it being played again?
December 31st, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, New Year's Eve, 11 a.m.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. What about, thank you for interrupting me. Dang it, I can't think now. I was going to ask you. Now I know. What about ticket sales? What are you hearing? Are many Bama fans going to be there?
Well, I just think I haven't heard any amounts, but I think Bama fans travel well. They always have. They'll show up. I don't know how much tickets are.
$91 to get in.
Well, that's a lot of money. But there are people who are willing to, spend their holiday traveling with a football team. That. The thing that intrigues me about this game is how Jalen Mbakwe is going to be used, because I think that was part of the reason he returned, is that he bargained with them to get some offensive snaps. I don't know if he's going to be the next Travis Hunter, but this guy's got the ability to affect the game on both sides of the ball. And so, we'll see how many snaps he gets on offense, because they're down a few receivers.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting back to the money, is Paul Jr., Coach Bryant's son, does he used to give millions of dollars. Is he still giving money? Is he still involved in everything?
That's a really good question. I mean, I would think, he's still got a big heart for the program. I would still think he's giving, a big chunk. But there's, the Alabama football program, it's always going to be solid, because you're always going to have a lot of people who will give and give and give. As much angst is being made over Greg Burns' statement. Greg Byrne never would have made that statement had he not felt that people wouldn't step up and chip in a little more.
Right.
I mean, there's no way he would have gone out in public and made a statement like that. And it shocked a lot of people, but at the same time, I bet some money is rolling into the university this week.
Yeah. Well, I just know, like the Drummonds, they got unbelievable amount of money. Some people will give money to have something built, a facility, something like that, and there's other people who have a lot of money going, I'm not giving money to pay for a player. And I wouldn't give money to pay for a player.
Do you think this is a DeBoer thing because of how the season went on? Because I don't believe if Nick Saban was there, they would have money issues.
I don't know. I think that's the reason Saban left.
Yeah,
it's because he didn't want to deal with all this stuff.
Right.
He saw the direction that the football is going, and he didn't like that aspect of it. And rather than just kind of sit by and put up with it, he said, let's do the TV thing. I don't want to do this anymore. So I think that was a big reason he left. I think that's pretty well documented at this point.
All right, Jeff, can we hold you over and talk a little bit about Auburn, a little bit more about college playoff games and everything?
Sure.
We got Jeff Spiegel with us. Are you going to be involved in the Netflix SEC TV specials coming out this summer?
Well, they got to pay me some money. They got to.
Hold on.
I heard about that.
Refer that question to your agent, Jeff.
Yeah.
You need Coach Hale's agent.
Yeah.
Well, his name is my agent is the same as Coach Hale. His name is Jimmy Sexton.
There you go.
I wished. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Like J. Michael's Restaurant, you want to get J. Michael's, the day special. If you're in Panama City Beach, the day specials, grilled fish, peppers, onions, mushrooms over bed of rice, special sauce that goes on is absolutely outstanding. The coldest ice beer you'll get anywhere, great seafood, the legendary J. Michael's. And speaking of another legend, Chuck Tucker and his family, they started this South Oak Tottenham closing. They've expanded throughout the Panhandle. Mark Howard, one of the elite realtors in the state, 38, he sells multi-million-dollar homes. All he goes with is Chuck Tucker and South Oak Tottenham Closing. They're that good. They're great. Just like Stevenson Air Conditioning. We'll be right back with Jeff Spiegel, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, riding down Santa Claus Lane. Listen, all is the rain.
Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The college football playoffs kick off tonight with Indiana at Notre Dame.
Coverage starts at 6:30.
Then round one continues tomorrow at 11 with SMU at Penn State.
Followed by Clemson at Texas.
And tonight at 7, it's the number 9 Tennessee Volunteers and the number 8 Ohio State Buckeyes. Right here on your spot for college football playoffs, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Clear skies this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze out of the northwest at 13 miles per hour and look for the high to be 64. Tonight it will be clear skies with a temperature reaching 40 and a blustery wind. Sunny tomorrow with a north wind around 11 miles per hour and a high of 55. Sunday we'll have a high of 58 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Hewitt Tire and Auto. Call 850-769-7323. Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing. Visit them online at HewittTire.com. On Airport Road in Panama City. 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Need a tow? Call Billy at Hometown Towing, 850-265-1562.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael studio, where it's beginning to look a lot like cocktails. Lots and lots of cocktails. Merry Christmas from ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Kennedy, James, all you Auburn Tigers. Auburn basketball is one of the best in the entire country. They might win it all this year. Yeah, but before we get into that, I got to ask Jeff something else. Jeff, we got to talk to you about this. And if you're out in Lynn Haven today, get out to Beefo Braves in Lynn Haven. They do a wonderful job. And don't forget, every Wednesday if you're out there, they got their big special 10 wings and a sign for $9.99. Cannot beat that. Beefo Braves in the city of Lynn Haven. All right, let me ask you this, Jeff. Who's the stronger? It may be that Iron Bowl basketball is huge, is growing as we speak. Football has always been big, but the new world that we live in, the Iron Bowl of NIL, who's stronger? Auburn with Yellowwood or Bama? I'm going to tell you what, the richest man in the state, I believe, still is Yellowwood. I think he still is. And he's doing a great job. Auburn's knocking out of the ballpark with NIL money. They're doing a great job in recruiting. Who's stronger, Auburn or Alabama? If it's going to come down to money, which you would think. Pat Dye said you could coach football for another 500 years, and we still wouldn't have all the tradition Alabama has in football. But what do you think? Is Auburn stronger or is Alabama?
Well, I don't have a ballot sheet in front of me, but but it appears to me that Auburn got ahead of the NIL game. Pretty early. They got a pretty good handle on it, and I don't know all the ins and outs of all this stuff, but it just seems to me that they're pretty buttoned up. When it comes to NIL, they've got that taken care of. The head football coaching, that still remains to be seen. But the NIL stuff, I think they kind of got ahead of that game, a little bit more than Alabama did. Alabama's still, I think, to some degree, playing catch up, and I think Greg Byrne pretty much publicly admitted that, earlier this week.
Yeah, and they go by the 5 highest rated positions, and I think we're all going to know what they are. If you play wide receiver, you're in the top 5. It's the 5 highest paid position. On an average, and I don't know if this is true or not, where I got this information was NIL data. It was wide receivers average $89,800. That's hard for me to believe. It maybe it's true if you're an elite wide receiver. Linebackers, they average $102,084. Number 3 most position, highest paid positions, cornerbacks. If you're a great player there, you're going to average $124,000. Quarterback, I think, is real low. But this is now they did talk average across the board. Quarterback's number 2. I thought was number 1. They goes number 2. Quarterback makes $151,275,000. And they said total earnings. Out the edge, the number 1 player, the number 1 guy. If you're a lead at this position, you're gonna make a lot of money. And it's kind of like the NFL. Edge rusher, $167,687. That's the average NIL deal. Does that sound right to you guys? To me, now the key word was average, because you're hearing the Michigan quarterback. What was the total for the Michigan quarterback? $12 million?
10 to 12, if you believe the reports, but we don't really have that information. So, But that's $3 million over 4 years. I mean,
What did Bryce Young get? Didn't he get $3 million his last year?
No, that was.
Don't give me that crap. It's true.
No, that's not true. We had a quarterback's family move to Birmingham. It's just
From
a better,
Hawaii.
It's just a better life.
From Hawaii.
There were more opportunities.
wasn't that
in Birmingham.
pre-NIL, though?
Yes, it was.
What was that called?
That's called a suitcase of cash.
Hey, see what I put up with here? Hey, let me ask you this, though. The kid from Oklahoma, the word on the street, it's over $2 million a year at Auburn. Have you heard that?
Jackson
I've
Arnold?
heard yeah.
They're going to give him $2 million a year?
Over $2 million a year. That's what I'm hearing.
What are they saying that I didn't see?
Well, how much are they paying the kid from Stanford?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
and the guy that was talking about the quarterback from Oklahoma, he knows what he's talking about. This is not some idiot.
So that same guy said every starting quarterback in the SEC this year will make more than Brock Purdy.
Wow.
That's startling, you know. I mean, this is amateurs. This is
really
something 5 years ago that nobody was getting paid. Now they're making more than NFL quarterbacks that are established. They're starting for NFC championship teams. So that is pretty much where we're at and why most
and remember that there's rumor, then there's facts.
No, I understand.
I tell you, I saw that list too. I tell you what surprised me is there's no offensive tackles on there, because you always hear about, you got to protect the guy's blind side, and there's not one offensive tackle even mentioned on there. That just kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a really good point. I mean, a left tackle, you know, I mean, we were talking about this in the office, and a guy came in and he was really down on Jalen Milroe, and I go, look. They said, well, I'm pretty sure that, you know, Alabama and Jalen Milroe will part ways. I go, part ways? I mean, what are you saying? I mean, you're talking like Jalen Milroe is quarterbacking like a 3-9 football team.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy won 9 football games. You know, well, let's look at all the losses and how much he had to do with it. Well, I tell you what, he fumbled against Vanderbilt because his left tackle missed a block.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he fumbled against Auburn because his left tackle missed a block.
He got hurt against Tennessee, and that caused a lot of issues in that game because they missed blocks.
Yes, exactly. And then the Oklahoma game, he goes, well, it's all his fault they lost the Oklahoma game. Oh, it's all his fault that those guys dropped those passes?
Yeah.
And that C.J. Dupree whiffed on a block, and he got jacked up on the first play of the game?
He threw the penalty on the touchdown pass. He threw the penalty on that, too. Yeah, that was just a weird game. That was a weird game.
A very weird game, yeah. But, I mean, I just think, and that got me to the point where, and you guys were talking about tackles and all that stuff, those left tackles, they need to be getting some cash.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if we're going to be start doling out money, you know, and all that, and how much would it, like John Hanna, how much NIL would he get?
Oh, my God.
Goodness.
Orlando Pace. I mean, at Ohio State right now.
Anthony Munoz.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I do think that that's where we're about to shift to, especially when you got the Bill Belichick's and the people that are experienced with building these rosters and how to build them to win championships. I do think we're going to be heading that direction.
Hey, Jeff.
Probably will.
We're going to run out of time here in a minute. I got to ask you a couple of things. Alabama, Michigan, you feel pretty good Bama winning this ball game. Michigan's had a lot of guys, too, not going to play in the game. Their best defensive lineman's not going to play. I know one of the running backs not going to play. They're coming off a huge win. They're going to have confidence after going in there on the road, beating Ohio State. Bama beat Auburn their last ball game, out of the playoffs. Who do you like in this game?
I like Alabama winning this game. I mean, I think there's a lot of motivation there, you know, for them to, you know, put on a good performance and good carryover, you know, into the next season. So I like Alabama winning that one.
All right, let's get to playoff games. I want your opinion on those. Indiana, Notre Dame, the state championship game we play tonight. Who you like?
Oh boy, it's gonna be nice weather, huh? Snow flurries, I think. Cold, yeah. I like the Irish to win that one, but I think they'll run for them in when they play Georgia.
All right, SMU and Penn State. Does Franklin blow this one, or does he get a win?
You know, I see more chaos happening before we get to the final two, so I'm going to call for SMU to get the upset here in Happy Valley.
Okay.
Wow.
Clemson at Texas. Texas defense is good.
Oh, yeah.
They've only lost 2 games.
Here's another thing, too. I like Clemson hanging around until the fourth quarter in this one. I mean, I agree with Dabo. I think they're a dangerous team. They haven't played their best football yet. But I see them hanging around to the fourth quarter, but I see Texas pulling away.
All right, Tennessee at Ohio State. I always had the theory, if you play really bad one week, you're going to play better the next. They were embarrassed at home. I mean, they've took a lot of heat. A lot of stuff's been said about the coach, the program. Tennessee's going up there. They've lost 21 games in a row on the road, a true road game versus a top 10 team. Last time they won a game like this in 2006, I think, if that adds up right. What do you think? 21 games they've lost in a row to a top 10 team on the road. 21 times straight.
The key is going to be a big start for Tennessee. If they get off to a great start, then, the Buckeye fans are likely to turn on this team and on Ryan Day. And then all of a sudden, a road game becomes more like a home game, And so I think the key for Tennessee is a quick start. But, if Ohio State gets out there and avoids, going 3 and out the first 2 or 3 times and the fans don't get, all hyper and upset, then I think the Buckeyes will win this game. I feel confident that, if Ohio State brings their A game, I think they win this game.
Yeah, and I said this earlier. It's a simple thing. A little stat that stuck out in my head when I saw this is on first down. If Tennessee struggles on first down against Ohio State's offense, they're going to get beat pretty good. Because Ohio State, take away the Michigan game on first down. It's incredible what their average. I want to say it's like 9 yards across the board on first down. It's like you don't see this stuff every day, and they're a very talented football team.
Well, they are, and Tennessee's defensive front, though, I think is the key here. And how Ohio State handles that Tennessee defensive front, which is elite.
Yeah. Well, they've lost their starting center, and so did we. He came from Bama. But anyway, how much time? All right, we got to go. Jeff, real quick, what you got planned for Christmas? And wait, time out. If we're late, we're late. Tell me this. When you were a little kid, what's your favorite memory of Christmas? What's something you remember? Was that little toy I brought over to you? Do you remember that?
The little Saban bobblehead.
I'm gonna give the pat answer, and it's just kind of being with family, And when I was a kid, it was all about the presents. But then as you get older, it's just kind of being with family. And now with 3 grandkids, and we had our grandson and granddaughter spend the night with us last night, and just enjoying them. So it's really cool.
All right, yeah. My favorite, we got on Christmas, we had a special meal. We actually got graham crackers. I remember that. God. I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. No, I'm kidding. Hey, you have a great Christmas. We love you, and take care of yourself. We'll see you. Talk to you soon, okay? Oh, hey Jeff, we're gonna be out. We're gonna be out a while. We'll be back. Okay, he told me, man. Yeah. They can't handle paying me overtime. It'll break the bank. I'm like Johnny Carson. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
All right, let's take a break. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer.
Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida.
College football bowl season continues today. First, it's the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl
with your Florida Gators versus the Tulane Green Wave.
Kickoff at 2:30. Then round 1 of the college football playoffs with Indiana at Notre Dame. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here on your home for college football.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
It's the season of New Traditions sales event going on now at Bill Bird Kia. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 60 months of the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento or a new 2025 Kia Sportage. Take your next holiday adventure in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sorento or new 2025 Kia Sportage with $1,748 per month per $1,000 financed in 60 months. Quantity is limited, not to be combined with other finance offers and not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 1/2/25.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio, where it's beginning to look a lot like cocktails. Lots and lots of cocktails. Merry Christmas from ESPN Northwest Florida.
That's a key. Christmas. Oh, yeah, that's a great one, Wildcat. Thank you.
King.
Love it, man. So blue. All right, here we go. Let's get going. Let's start picking these ball games. Let's see. Let me get the list. I got a lot. Well, it depends on how much time. We got time to break them down, too. The big one today, to me, is the Florida Gators. Their quarterback, I love that kid as a special ball player.
Yeah.
I've heard they've had a pretty good... I heard the kids are excited about playing the game. I didn't think that'd be the case, but they are. Florida's got a chance to win 8 ball games. Can you believe it? If they win the game today, Coach Spurrier is a genius. Yeah. He told us 8, and I agree. Remember, I said, I agree with the all-ball coach. And we thought he was crazy halfway through the season. But it looks like Florida's going to get to 8.
And where's the game being played?
Tampa. It's a Gasparilla Bowl.
Oh, Gasparilla Bowl.
Florida versus Tulane. I'll go first. I got Steve Spurrier, Florida Gators, winning big. Jason Kovaleski, how do you see this game playing out?
I see it the same way. I see Florida is hot. They want to be there. They want to finish the season off strong, and I think they do it.
Yeah.
Jim Durant.
Gators.
Big. Okay, good. Anybody out there think Tulane's going to win? Give us a call and tell us why. Why? Wildcat, who you got?
I was busy.
You got Florida? Just say yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You're a good boy.
I trust your judgment.
Yeah. December 27th, Las Vegas Bowl. Texas A&M will play USC. USC opened the season up in that same stadium against LSU. They go back. How many fans show up for there? I don't think many. A&M fans travel pretty well. Who do you like in this game, Jason?
I think A&M's a little hungrier. I think USC's got a lot of turmoil at the end of this season, a lot of transfers, a lot of unknown.
Quarterback transferred out.
Won 6 games in the Big Ten. That's not a good look for him, so I think he's on the hot seat no matter what anybody says behind or in public. Give me A&M, program on the rise.
I go A&M also.
I'm with you guys. Texas A&M gets it done. And USC, Blue Blood, welcome to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
All right, December 27th, the Liberty Bowl. This one I'm not sure about. Texas Tech's offense at times can be explosive. Arkansas, Sam Pittman, he saved his job, it looks like. They're physical. When Arkansas plays well, they play physical football. It's at the Liberty Bowl. There'll probably be more Arkansas fans at this ball game. Jim, what do you think? Texas Tech or
I'm going to go Texas Tech because it's one of those teams that whenever you don't pick them, then they end up jumping up and beating somebody. I'm going to go Texas Tech. Okay. The Red Raiders, baby.
I'm not a big fan of the Big 12, so I think playing better competition for Arkansas is going to prepare for this game a little bit better. I don't feel great about this. I think it's a coin flip, but give me Arkansas and the more experience against better teams.
I agree with both of you. I don't know who to pick because you're right. Texas A&M, Texas Tech, they've had explosive offense in the past. They do a good job. Arkansas, I think, is more physical. I don't feel good about this at all. The only reason I'm picking Arkansas is because of SEC. That's
more battle-tested.
I don't feel good about that one. All right, December 27th. This is another one that they've lost their quarterback at Oklahoma. It's an Armed Forces Bowl game. Again, it's going to be played on December 27th. They're going to play Navy.
Navy and who?
Navy and Oklahoma.
Wow.
And Oklahoma just lost their quarterback to Auburn.
I would go Navy on that one.
And they just had a big win over Army.
Navy was really prepared to beat Army. They really outcoached them. They really did.
Jason?
I'll go with Oklahoma. Venables, whether people want to admit it or not, he's got to start winning there. I mean, this is a big game for them to build some momentum into next year. They lost Jackson Arnold, but he wasn't starting. He started the last game. They got two guys.
Here's the thing to remember about Navy. Navy's not going to have anybody opt out.
No, absolutely not. And they're going to run.
They're going to have their whole
offense they run.
I was going to say
they're going to have their whole team.
But I will say this: is there any defensive coordinator out there can be prepared for it? Is this guy? He's a great defensive coach. And they've had all this time to get ready for that offense. Yeah.
And I saw Notre Dame beat Navy by what 50.
Yeah.
And I think Oklahoma's closer to Notre Dame.
You got Oklahoma?
I got Oklahoma.
I'm gonna go Oklahoma. The only reason I'm doing it, I'm tied with you. December 27th in the great city of Birmingham, and that beautiful brand new stadium there. I'd love to be at this ball game. Georgia Tech takes on Vandy. Jim, who do you like in this one?
Go Georgia Tech.
I think you're correct, sir.
Yeah, I like Georgia Tech in this game, too. This is going to be a really good game, though. I mean, I think both teams are going to have players not opt out, which is going to be refreshing. I don't think Pavia opted out. I think they're going to be at full strength. But I think Georgia Tech's playing pretty good at the end of the year. I love their coach. I think he's done a phenomenal job. So give me Georgia Tech.
Out of all these picks, we had all these guys picking these games a whole week. There's only one man that picked Vandy. You know who it was?
Really?
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
So he's going to be right?
You're probably right.
Yeah.
All right, December 28th, the Pop-Tarts Bowl. The $20 million team that they spent on NIL.
The most expensive Pop-Tarts in the world.
Yeah. This game is, where's this game play? It's in Orlando. Same thing.
The Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
I thought it was a meme.
Citrus Bowl.
I thought it was a meme when I first saw that. I was like, wow, Miami.
So who's Miami playing?
Iowa State.
I think it's a good matchup. I do.
Is Cam Ward playing?
Yeah, supposedly. Up to this point, he is. I think Restrepo's playing. I hate to do this because you've met my Miami fan who's got the biggest mouth in all of the South. But give me Miami. If Cam Ward's playing, they got one of the best offenses in the country, and I don't think Iowa State can match them score for score.
I agree. Miami. To you, baby.
I'm going with the home state school, the Miami Hurricane. John McVay. To come out of retirement.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the Music City Bowl, December 30th. Missouri rode that Cotton Bowl victory for a long, long time. They were ranked pretty high. They're still ranked. They're going to play Iowa, which they do a good job at Iowa. I got to give them credit. Who do you guys like this? Missouri on December 30th in Nashville, Tennessee, the Music City Bowl, Missouri versus Iowa. Who do you like?
I'm going to go to Big Ten and go Iowa.
Actually, too. I think their offensive line and defensive line are pretty physical. They use their tight ends really well. I don't think that Missouri is some high-scoring offense that Iowa can't keep up with. So I think
how has their offense been this year with the new?
It's been okay.
It's been better.
Yeah, but they play to protect their defense.
They have a really good running back. They really do.
Caleb Johnson or whatever his name is, I believe.
Okay.
Caleb Johnson.
I'll go SEC. I'll go Missouri. All right. December 31st, Texas Bowl. And LSU plays there a lot. It seems like they go to this bowl game when they're not playing in a huge one. LSU versus Baylor, December 31st, Texas Bowl. That game's played in Houston.
LSU, big.
Is Dave Aranda still the coach at Baylor?
Yes, he is.
So.
Yes.
Give me Baylor, just to be different.
There's going to be some upsets. There always is. Bowl season usually is chaotic. We don't know who's playing for LSU. I think Nussmeier's playing, though.
You got LSU?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, their quarterback is playing. Their head football coach said they're shooting for the national championship next year.
Good for him.
Yeah, aren't we all?
I tell you what, Baylor. I tell you what, they'll have a good defensive scheme. I'm gonna go LSU. All right, Citrus Bowl, South Carolina. Who's the coach at Illinois? I love him.
Bielema.
I like Bielema.
Yeah.
Who do you like in this one?
Illinois versus who?
South Carolina. The Quest Bowl,
That's a good
December
game.
31st.
Yeah. That's a really close game right there.
Now, they had the pick of Alabama. They said they didn't want Bama. They wanted South Carolina because their fans are pumped up about coming. They're going to have a lot of people
And where's
there.
it going to be played?
Orlando, Florida, Citrus Bowl.
I'm going to go South Carolina.
I'm going to go South Carolina, but I think this game's going to be much closer.
Yeah, that could be, of all the ones so far, that's probably the best matchup right
If South Carolina gets in a rock fight with Illinois, there's a good
one of their
chance they
stud
lose that
players
game.
now. One of the studs of South Carolina is not playing.
Yeah, Kennard or
That's going to hurt them.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt. It won't shock me a bit if Bielema gets a win. I like him. He does. They were 9-3 this year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did a great job. The Sun Bowl. Who wants to be at the Sun Bowl? You think the Louisville players really care about being there? I say no. I think it's going to be a hard time getting them pumped up for this ball game. Have you ever seen the bowl? The city, there's nothing to do there. Alabama played Army there one time in a bowl game. They treat you great and everything, but this is not someplace I don't think you want to go play a bowl game. They're playing Washington. The game's going to be played on December 31st. Who you like?
Washington and who?
Louisville.
Let's go Washington.
I'm going with Louisville. I think they will be happy to be there. I don't think they're like some college football playoff or bust team, so they should be happy to be there, and they should go out there and attack this game because these help with recruiting, these help with next year's rankings. So as much as people say these games don't matter, I do think they matter.
I got Louisville too. I think they're. I hope they show up. They show up, they'll win the ball game.
I think Brown does a really good job getting his guys ready, and I think he's one of the better coaches in the country.
That's mine. Quit eating my food. All right, here we go. December 31st, my baby girl will be there. As a matter of fact, they got to report December 26th in Tampa, start covering the ball game. Alabama versus Michigan.
Alabama.
Michigan's coming off that big win over Ohio State. That's got to help them, man. I think they're going to play hard. I think it's going to be a close football game regardless. Jeff's got Bama. Jim, who you got?
Alabama.
I think Michigan finished the season really strong. The week before Ohio State gave me a little bit of pause when they beat Northwestern like 51-7. I was like, wow. Yeah. I mean, they put 51 points up. Their defense played well. So
their best defense lineman's not going to play.
No, I was never going to pick them anyway. I mean, they still got Davis Warren at quarterback, and they still have issues at corner. They're missing defensive backs. They're missing defensive tackles.
Alabama shows up,
yeah,
they're going to win.
That's the key.
Alabama, but I do think this is going to be a really good game.
And I keep going back and forth. I want to drive down.
Milrow's playing though, right? Milrow,
yeah.
Team,
but which Milrow?
Yeah. Well, they got a
Ryan Williams. Is he playing?
Yeah, he's playing.
Hopefully they'll throw him the ball, unlike Ohio State.
Now this game's going to be. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and finish up with these wonderful picks. Hey, I want to thank all you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. And we want you to continue to listen to us. We're going to take a little break after our Christmas break like we've done for 9 years. But we'll be back early in January getting back with you guys. But God bless you. I hope you have a great Christmas. But right now, let's talk about some of our wonderful, outstanding people and I haven't even mentioned it. I feel sorry about this. The Vandergriff family, we love them. They do a great job. Legendary family. Kyle and some partners have started a new restaurant. It's a oyster bar with a sports theme. It's going to be a historical downtown Panama City. The address and the name of it is Local 115. It's on Harrison Avenue, 115 Harrison Avenue, but the name of the restaurant is Local 115. They're going to have oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, soups, salads, wings, ice cold beer, and wine. Nothing fried. It's kind of a healthier option. Lunch and dinner, downtown, historical Panama City. Love that. Love Kyle and those guys down there. That's going to be a great place to go. Also, don't forget the legendary J. Michael's Restaurant, Stevenson Air Conditioning, South Oak Title and Closing, Dr. Chad Mitchell, That Cajun place, we will be there probably 11 o'clock Saturday morning. I think Jason and I are going to be down there. It's his turn to buy. Also, don't forget about Newbies, Dr. Ward, Max Fit Sports Nutrition, Paparazzi Pizza, Turpro Pest Control, and we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Dreaming of a white Christmas. Just
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Josh Allen has been spectacular, but he's been taking care of the ball. I mean, it's really simple because you look at that offense, and if I said, okay, tell me all the great names on that offense. Exactly. They're not great names. They're good. They're not great. He's great.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Clear skies this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze out of the northwest at 13 miles per hour and look for the high to be 64. Tonight, it will be clear skies with the temperature reaching 40 and a blustery wind. Sunny tomorrow with a north wind around 11 miles per hour and a high of 55. Sunday, we'll have a high of 58 and sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
If you spend any time at all in your yard, you're going to encounter fire ants.
We know they can ruin a party. That's why we're this area's experts at fire ant elimination.
As your certified top choice professional, we will rid your yard of these unwanted invaders. Brock Pest is so sure they will get rid of fire ants that they offer a 1-year guarantee.
Enjoy your yard fire ant free. We guarantee it. Give us a call for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting yours since 1968.
Attention homeowners, are you dreaming of a backyard oasis? Look no further than S&R Fencing, your go-to destination for quality outdoor transformations. At S&R, they specialize in crafting custom fences, decks, retainer walls, and all exterior construction that not only enhances the beauty of your home, but also stands the test of time. Their experienced team takes pride in delivering top-notch craftsmanship with a personal touch. S&R Fencing, locally owned, licensed, and insured, and a member of the BBB.
Welcome to It's the Coach James Hale Show.
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
That's Jason's favorite Christmas song.
It actually was. My grandmother used to love this song, so we actually laughed about it.
That is a good one. Jim has said how we loved Elvis and everything. My dad loved him.
Yeah.
And he said, that boy came from nothing. He was dirt poor, and look at him now. That's true. He was the American dream, and so was James Brown.
And his agent stole everything, and he left dirt poor.
The Colonel, they said he lost. This was back when $1 million was worth. It was a lot of money back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
It's worth about $20 million now.
He lost millions money gambling in Vegas.
Right.
And
supposedly he had 75% of all the income that came in with the contract.
It was crazy. All the merchandise he made money off. Elvis didn't care about that stuff. He gave away most of the stuff he had.
They kept him drugged up.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the rest of these bowl games. January 2nd, Gator Bowl, Ole Miss versus Duke. Who you like?
Miss.
Big.
Ole Miss, and it better be big. I got questions about Kiffin this year. That was a disappointing year for him.
This is the best team. This might be the best team he ever has.
Yeah.
But even though they're trying to steal players.
The portal, they've killed it this year again, so we'll see. But I was disappointed in him this year.
Indiana versus Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
I don't see this as close as all these people think that Cinderella's going to come in. If you watch the Indiana-Ohio State game, Indiana had zero chance to block Ohio State. And Notre Dame's physical like that on defense, I see this as a beatdown. And it's not going to be a high-scoring game, so a beatdown could be 24-10 or something like that. But I see this as a clear
It's supposed to snow tonight. And that game will kick off at 6 o'clock our time. I think 6 o'clock our time.
Watch Notre Dame's defense. We always talk about tackling nowadays. They tackle. They come up and hit people, and I've been really impressed with Marcus Freeman, and I haven't said that before this year. So watch out for Notre Dame to make a little run here.
SMU at Penn State. Listen. Y'all think I'm crazy? if they let them hang around, if they let SMU hang around with that quarterback, they're going to get upset. They need to start fast. They need to be physical and put it away.
Yeah, I think you're crazy. I think Penn State wins big.
All right.
I just saw a size difference versus Clemson versus SMU, and I was like, wow, their defensive line looks small, and Clemson was able to run on it.
Here's the other thing, too. You look at it, and I know Penn State, this is their first time in the playoffs, too, but they're used to big-time environments.
For sure.
They're playing at home.
Yeah. That's
you got to know that SMU is going to have the wide eyes. Wow, this is it, man. To me, I don't think that's going to be close. I just don't.
And the tight end from Penn State gives them a weapon that they really haven't had on offense at all outside of running backs.
Special. He's
They've
really
got two
good.
running backs that are going to play in the NFL. The offensive line's tremendous. I mean, if you watch that Ohio State game, they had a real chance to win that game if Franklin doesn't mess up the goal line. Possession.
I like Penn State now and big.
All right, the big one, and these are the two big games, I think. Number 12, Clemson, at number 5, Texas. Home game for Texas. They're tough at home. I think they got a really good defense. I truly believe if Texas would get hot, they could win it all. They got the easier path, too.
I give Clemson a puncher's chance because of Dabo Swinney, and he's been in the big-time games. He's faced Nick Saban head-to-head. I mean, he went, 2-4 in national championship games against him. So I give them a puncher's chance. I just think Texas got too much talent. They're playing at home. But yours could screw this up. Now, I mean, he's made some
play the backup.
Yeah, I agree with that. They should have some packages, especially in the red zone with him running the football because they've struggled, punching, scores in for touchdowns. So, but I got to go with the talented team and the better defense in Texas.
Yeah, Clemson's got a chance, but they don't have enough offensive weapons to beat Texas because Texas is really good on defense. Right. They are. I like Texas.
If Texas starts fast, it's going to get out of hand. If not, it could be like but then again, it could be like Georgia when they played them real close, and the very end they pulled away. Right. I got Texas win this ball game. If they don't, you talking about all of a sudden all of his things he's built up this year, they'll turn on him quickly too at Texas.
I think every fan base in the country wants to fire their coach after every loss. So.
They do.
I agree.
All right, the big one, Tennessee. I think it's going to be a good game. Tennessee at Ohio State. I've already told you what I think. What do you guys think?
I really love this game. I think that it boils down to a couple of things. I think it's Tennessee's defensive line against Ohio State's offense line just because they've had, two starters down. So if Ohio State can handle that and give Howard, time to throw, I think they win the game. I also think red zone is going to be hugely important. Ohio State has the number 1 red zone offense, number 1 red zone defense. If Tennessee can score touchdowns, if they get it down there, then I think this is going to be an extremely close game. And Ohio State fans and players, they're a little timid right now. They came off a Michigan loss. They should have done a loss, so any little negative thing can cause that thing to go sideways. So I got Ohio State. I think that just based on talent, I mean, if you look at the Caleb Downs, the Jeremiah Smiths, the Carnell Tates, the Judkins, the Hendersons, the Sawyers, the J.T. Tuamalas, I mean, they got a loaded roster, but there's always that Ryan Day factor, and that's the reason I pause. I think Heupel's got this thing going in the right direction. I think in the next 3-4 years they're going to be right there every year. I just got to pick Ohio State at home and the more talented team right now.
Jim, we had...
Well, if you're an Ohio State person, you can't ever ask for much more. You got a game at home, at night. And I said this before, I'm going to say it again now. If you're a coach, you have to have some introspection. You have to know when, hey, man, that was on me. Right. Completely. And that Michigan game was completely on Ryan Day and Chip Kelly. Yeah. Because if they'd have done anything on offense, I don't care, 17-13. All you had to do is score like one more touchdown. They'd have won.
Remember the interception they got on the 15-yard line? They ran.
Caleb Downs intercepted the ball on the 16-yard line, and they got nothing.
And they played for a field goal.
Missed a field goal. It got nothing.
Missed a field goal. That's
so, and you also said something I really agree with. This is not an introductory job. This is like a master's class, everybody. Right. You're not taking PE 101 as a freshman. This is a master's class. You're expected to know what the heck you're doing. Right. Your shelf life for the bonehead stuff is
over.
Pretty much over. The time management, the bad calls, not throwing the ball to the best player on the field. I mean, what are you doing? Yeah. That crap just can't happen. If they take all that out, they'll win. There's no doubt in my mind. They're better. Yeah. Well, it's better. It's just, will they show it?
I think a lot of people are picking Tennessee because of Ohio State's last game. Right. And I think Tennessee players have confidence watching that film, especially Michigan running the ball. because that's what Tennessee does well. I think a key for Tennessee's offense, how's their quarterback play? When he's home, he plays well. When he's on the road against good competition, he doesn't. He just doesn't. When they play really good teams, he struggled. This is the best defense they've seen all year. Jeremy's got Tennessee picked to win the game. Glenn picked Tennessee to win the game. Dr. Ward picked Tennessee to win the game. That was one game. And a lot of people watch that. Everybody watches the Michigan game, and they don't watch them play because they're in the Big Ten. You watch the SEC. They got one of the best. I had them picked to win the national championship. I still think they're going to the national championship. I got Ohio State. I think they win it. I think they're going to pull away in the second half. If they throw the ball, if they can protect the quarterback and get the ball to playmakers against their DBs, Tennessee's going to have a problem.
And you weren't in here. I was talking to Jason off air. Arkansas, and you can win $500,000 if you can tell me who Arkansas's quarterback is. Arkansas threw the ball for 293 yards on Tennessee.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know who Arkansas's quarterback is, but I'm pretty sure that Will Howard's at least as good as that guy.
Right.
So if they throw the ball, like you say, which they didn't do, it's all on Ryan Day. It is. I mean, that's just reality. It's just
now,
on him.
what about the linemen? You really had 3 guys out for the year. Can they protect the quarterback? Because Tennessee's got a good pass rush.
I mean,
they gave up 0. They didn't sack Georgia one time, not once. They got the best defensive. Now they'll probably have 12 sacks against them tomorrow, but they didn't sack Georgia one time. 0.
I mean,
and they threw the ball like 45 times.
An All-American. Hinsman played all last year, started, so they're really down one offensive lineman. And I think they played well against Indiana.
They did.
You know, the Michigan game was just a bad game plan. I mean, you know, any team that went in there and thought, hey, let's run on the interior defensive line of Michigan and see if we can't physical them.
Right.
That's a dumb game plan. I don't care if you're the 49 or 85 Bears. That's a dumb game plan.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
And really, when you pick these games, if you look, you gotta look at the talent. I mean, Tennessee's good. They're good, but they don't have the players.
No, they don't.
At Ohio State has. They don't.
If you look at the back 7 on defense, that's to me where the clear advantages are.
But neither did Michigan.
And that's my point. The matchups are still there. You know, Tennessee can still take advantage of the offensive line. Tennessee can still take advantage of their run game.
Yep.
If they run for 200 yards, they're going to win.
All right, Jason, real quick, you got about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
What's your best Christmas memory?
My grandmother. My grandmother made everything special. She's not with us anymore, so just going to her house for Christmas mornings. Both my grandmothers, my grandmother Yoho, my Grandma Thompson, just made my life so much more special on Christmas.
To me, it's the grandkids. Jim?
Oh, yeah, going to both my grandparents.
I got it. You guys have a happy and Merry Christmas. We are out.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd.
What the Eagles are is basically that couple that constantly argues and nobody thinks the marriage will ever stay intact, and they just have